Hello friends, I'm Larry with Rides Done Right, and this is Journey to Track Days. Hello! Yeah. Boy, that was nice.
His car was already built by Strictly Street Rods. He got wiped out in the 4-lane stop.
I can have the most talented guy in there, but if he's not jiving with the rest of the crew, it's just a bad.
Drives the truck, drives the car, he flies the plane. Do you get paid 3 times? No.
This show, top 5 in America.
You look at point 1, you can see what I'm saying at. Basically, we're profiling. I know we're not supposed to profile America nowadays, but we are. That's what this is about. The reason we're profiling, though, why are we profiling? Stay safe. Stay safe. We're trying, along those lines of staying safe, what we're trying to do is build a reasonable expectation of when we pass this person of what they're going to do. We never know, but at least if we profile him and the guy runs wide on 9 of 10 corners, what do you think he's going to do? He's probably going to run wide. So if you're planning an outside pass, probably not going to turn out good for you. So that's where we'll talk about planning. Probably don't want to plan an outside pass. We should probably square it off and do an inside pass on the exit. That'd be good for the guy that runs wide. So that's why we're watching and learning tendencies of riders at your pace. Study them, learn them. I'm not talking about the guy that blows by you. You don't have to go to school on him and profile that. And I'm not talking about the guy that you blow by, because there'll be those guys too. What's the point? You make a quick decision, you go by, I'm done. I'm talking about the guys at your pace. This is the guy that you get behind, and for 3 laps, you're like, how am I going to get by this guy? He's just your pace. We all have that guy. So that's what I'm talking about. Profile that person. Secondly, know as best you can where those riders are at all times. Well, Mark, he's behind me. How do I know where he's behind me? Well, that's why we're going to skip down to point 6 here. And when I say earplugs, how many guys are wearing earplugs today? All right, those who don't have them, get them. I think I have maybe 1 each.
You have those. Yeah, that's right.
Good.
I have a couple extra pair of my work.
And you'll hear, it seems like an oxymoron, but you'll hear more with earplugs in than you will without it, because it cuts down on the white noise. So when that guy is behind you, you just spent 3 laps passing, and he's on a Ducati, and you go, oh, I hear a rumble of a V-twin right behind me. Guess what he's doing to you? He's profiling you now, okay? He's looking for your weakness so he can pass you back. Understand that. Again, all we're doing is trying to build a reasonable concept of situational awareness. Remember I opened up today about how I totally disagree that we're a bunch of maniacs with our hair on fire and tongues hanging outside our head? Well, my goal is to help you through the school, and this is one of the things to do, is build fantastic situational awareness. Because if we have great situational awareness, our life depends on it. Our bike depends on it, our well-being. So we'll make good decisions if we have good situational awareness. That's the goal. So earplugs are part of that equation. Knowing where all these guys are at as best you can, from here forward, we can kind of know where they're at. From here back, that's where earplugs come into play. So that's why I say that. Know as best you can where these riders are at around you. Again, we're trying to build good situational awareness. That way we know if the guy that runs wide in every corner is right behind us and we're coming into a corner, he's probably going to run wide. I don't want to make a mistake on the exit because he's probably going to hit me because this guy can't control his bike on the exit. Okay? That's why I say these things. Kind of build yourself a profile of what's happening around you. It helps you. Point 3, even though this is on visual awareness and passing, we're hitting the vision part. Now instead of looking further down the track, now I want you to look through other riders. And I'm going to liken this to riding in the streets, and y'all do it. How many times in the street, even if you're if you're in a car, are you looking through the windshield of the car in front of you to see what's beyond it? And you're all shaking your head yes because you do it. Same thing here. If I'm behind Larry in the track, am I looking at Larry's back tire where he turns, I turn? If Larry has a mistake and he runs off track, what am I going to do if I'm looking at his back tire? I'm going to fall and run off the track. Instead, if I'm behind Larry, I want to see him in my non-focus, but I'm focused down here. So if the track goes this way, and Larry goes, I'm like, Larry, where are you going? The track goes, well, Larry made a mistake. I'm going this way. I'm not following Larry. But if I'm looking at his back tire, he and I are going to be out in the weeds picking hay to get not a good thing. So, and this is easy to do. It's easier to do at a slow pace. It's tougher to do when you get the bit between your mouth and your teeth and you're like, I'm going to pass Larry. I've got to get by Larry. I've got to get by him. Now I'm focused on Larry too much rather than the track. So I want to caution you that when you get behind somebody, if you get yourself in that mode, like, I got to get by Larry, you're going to be the pass. I got to get by Larry. That's going to be your trigger word. Don't look at Larry. Anyways, my point is when you get in that mode, you've got to get your eyes and look past it. That will help you big time. I learned this lesson bad in my first years of racing in Laguna Seca. I was down there and I was behind this guy and I was in that, I got to get by Larry. It was the guy that was in front of me and I was just going to pack. And all of a sudden we came around turn 11 in Laguna, which is on the short front straight, and all of a sudden this dude in front of me dodges right. And what happens, there's a guy that crashed, I said it, like right in the middle of the track. I dodged left. And I glanced it with my boot, luckily I didn't hit him, but if I'd been looking through him as I'd been coming into 11 rather than focused on this dude, I'd probably seen through the corner and already had a plan of action out. But instead, I was staring at this dude's back tire and all of a sudden, last second, I had to make a dodge. That was a great lesson for me to look through people. So that's why I'm trying to pass on to you guys. Look through other riders. You'll see those kinds of mistakes sooner and quicker and have more time to react. Also, you'll see subtle mistakes or major mistakes they make because they'll be offline or pointing like, why are you pointing? The track goes this way, dude. You'll see those things. And either that's going to keep you safer or there's your passing opportunity presenting itself. So look through other riders. That's a huge one. Big one right there. Point 4 is always plan a safe pass. There's 2 key words in that phrase. Plan and safe. Okay? We never want to plan a sketchy pass, and we never want to make a pass that we never planned. So there's 2 words. I often liken this sport to chess at speed. Again, going back to this hair and fire tongue, that's not who we are. We are calculative. If we are not, any guys pilots? Okay, I have several pilots on staff and people take my course. One of the phrases in being an airline pilot or any kind of pilot is don't ever get behind the plane. Because in an airline, they're moving, 500-600 miles an hour. Even a private pilot is 100 to 200 miles an hour. You get behind the plane, man, you got half a second to react. Well, bikes, we're not far behind that. It's 70 to 100 miles an hour average speed around here. So we can't get behind the bike. So we cannot ever just not plan something. We have to plan. We have to be proactive. We got to stay ahead of that bike. So that's why I say it's chess at speed. We need to be thinking 2 or 3 moves ahead. So we're planning this pass. Going back to point 1, why are we profiling? Gee, so we can plan better. Now we know what we're planning. This dude ahead of me always runs wide. Or this dude here, he brakes way too early every time. Or he's freaking great on the throttle coming off the corner. I don't think I'm going to plan a pass on the exit. If I'm going to pass this dude, I'm going to get him on the brakes because I'm way better than him on the brakes. Planning. Okay? The other part, safe, I don't need to explain that one. What's the passing rule for our group?
Outside pass is only 10
Outside
feet.
pass is only 10 feet. Perfect. Am I going to bust you if you do a 5-foot pass? No. If you do a pass that's 1 foot, we'll have a chat. Yes. Okay. If you pass the inside, Dave will pull you aside and say, "I'm bigger than you. Do we want to have any more discussion on this?" And you'll say no.
Don't let me fall on you. You'll get hurt.
So think about that. Plan and safe. Okay. That's the biggest thing. Plan and lay out your attack ahead of time so when it presents itself, you see it, there's your opportunity. Point 5, this is one of the biggest ones I see people make a mistake on is commit to the pass. Commitment is huge. If you're like hesitant, like, well, I planned this pass, and I think I can, I don't know. Now, Larry's going to get pissed off at me because Larry's like, Mark, I got to make this corner. Either make the pass or don't because I'm going to go. And pretty soon he's going to go, and if I'm not ready, I'm going to confuse us both. So I have got to commit. The nice thing about motorcycles is they only take up, you measure bar end to bar end, it's less than 2 feet. That's not a lot of real estate in the track. 2 bikes can get through 4 feet of space if they're done right. Now granted, that's a close pass, that would violate rules, but I'd rather have a close pass and not crash than a bad pass and hit somebody and crash. So all I'm getting at is if you commit and it's a little closer than you thought, he makes an adjustment, you make an adjustment, no issue. If you don't commit, he's confused, you're confused, like, well, maybe I will, maybe I won't, maybe I will, maybe I won't. Then it's too late, then we have problems, then you both come back in pissed off and someone's blaming somebody else. We don't need that. So Once you've done all these other things, you've planned, you've profiled, you've watched and learned, you've planned a safe pass, you see your opportunity to pass, commit to it. Take the pass. That's going to be a big thing there. It all makes sense, guys. Executing it is the other thing. So we got to make sure and do our best to do that. I'm going to touch on the last two things. We talked about earplugs. Point 7 here, seeing the flags. We want to avoid tunnel vision. Tunnel vision is what I only see here. You want to remember that first thing I talked about today, riding at 80%. The other reason we ride at 80% is because now we engage our peripheral. If I can't feel Dave, I may not be able to see him details, but if I can't tell that Dave's here and I can tell he's sitting down, that's about all the detail I can tell right now. If I can't see that, I'm riding too hard or too fast. That applies to flags because flags usually appear in this part of our eye. Sometimes we're pointed right at them, but it's not on the track, it's off the track. We're focused at the apex. We need to still be able to see those stations and stuff. So that's how we should be riding out here. I liken flags at the track to obstacles on the street. If we can see the flags riding the track day, when we go back to ride the street, we can see the soccer mom, we can see the dog off the leash, we can see the kids running across the crosswalk, we can see the gravel in the corner, the grass in the corner, the deer about to jump out in front of us, blah, 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 blah. You know where I'm going after this. So, those are what I want you guys to see is vision. Again, we're back to vision and seeing these things. Ride at a pace so your vision is engaged. I heard Keith Code say this once. If you can't recite the lap in details about the lap you just did, you're riding too hard. Because usually what happens is if you're riding too hard, you see this, all you're thinking about is how fast can I go? And if you can't say, oh yeah, I passed this dude in this corner, and here I got a little too hot, here I was a little bit late, here I missed my apex. Those are details. If you're riding at 80% or 90%, you're going to be able to take that stuff in and count it. That's a good tip too. So remember those things. See the flags? Can you describe your lap? Or you know what's going on? One thing I will tell you when you go back to the street, and you guys can comment on this and have done this, is how slow the street will seem. Your average speed here is what, 60, 70 miles an hour at this track, which is slow for tracks. Some tracks have an average speed of 80 to 90 miles an hour. There's not often we're doing 80 to 90 on the street. So when you go back to the street, all of a sudden you're going to see the soccer ball. Your vision's going to open up so much. And I don't want to freak you out. What I want to make you do is make you a more informed rider and have a good situational awareness. It's huge. And that leads us into this last point, point 8. My goal for you guys in this whole school, but this session specifically, is to develop fantastic situational awareness. Along the lines I talked about, if you have good situational awareness, you make good decisions. Point B here, if you look at it though, is I also want to create and keep you guys as lifelong riders. We have a couple guys on staff that have been riding for 60 years. They're in their 70s, instructors. And some of the biggest movements we have. And they kick butt. But the reason they're still riding in 60 years of riding is because they had good situation awareness and developed it. A sad statistic in our sport is people buy a bike and within 3 years they have some kind of incident that they quit, sell the bike, and never ride again. That's bad for our sport. I love our sport. I think it's one of the coolest things you can do anymore nowadays. And I want to keep people alive, safe, and continue to do it because our sport's so badass. So that's another goal. I want you guys to have good situation awareness so you guys make good decisions all the time, or as much as we can. And it helps us on the street have evasive maneuvers. A lot of stuff we're going to talk about today, whether you guys knew you could or not, you're going to improve your skills so much. Now, it's not going to just make you a better rider here, it's going to make you a way better rider on the street. And a lot of that is having to do with vision, how we're using the brake, how we're going to talk about loading tires. I can go on, but these are the tools that are going to help you have these things and our goals for you. So don't minimize. A lot of these things may sound simple, please don't minimize them. They're actually very valuable over time. So yeah, I mean, I don't exactly know what I can tell you other than eyes up sooner. It's not that you're going to forget the apex or whatever it is that's close to you. It's just, it sounds like you have a little too much detail or attention that's right here in front of you. Just, like you said, you know when you have that apex, even if you're not to get, as soon as you know you have it, get the eyes up, scan back to check and make sure you've processed it right. But just keep scanning up, and I think that'll help. I use, that was my fiance, Brittany, here. I use her as an example. We were at Thunder Hill earlier this year. This is, bear with me, it's going to maybe hit the computer. And she was really abrupt on the brakes and really abrupt on the throttle because her focus was so close. And she was, and I kept telling her, be smooth on the throttle, be a little smoother on the brakes. You're being really kind of, not quite herky-jerky, just aggressive. And we were 3 sessions, and she was running the track and stuff like this, and I was getting frustrated because I obviously wasn't communicating with her. Dang it, why am I not, I'm a good teacher, why am I not helping her? And then we got in the car with Ken Hill, we did 2 slow laps, literally 20 miles an hour around the track, and he talked about every corner, where are your eyes looking at, what are you seeing? And she did that, and then we went back out on the track the next session, and every single one of those input issues were cured because of her vision. I was trying to cure the problem, or a micro problem, and the real issue was her eyes, where she was looking. Once we got her eyes looking up and further down the track, her inputs, now she was braking smoother, she was throttling sooner because she was seeing things sooner. That might help you. Just really getting your eyes up even sooner than you are, and see if that doesn't help. All right, well, that's it for the session. You guys can hang out here. I bet we're only a few minutes away from the horn going off, so